My name is John Bettencourt. I am the third of 6 children born to Manuel and Emily Bettencourt, born in 1923 on this farm.
Going to grind fast.
What else we got here? Oh, that's my father right there. That's my mother. My father originally came from St. George, Azores, in one of the islands. And my mother came from St. Michael. And my father come to this country, he was 14. And he landed in California. He stayed there a couple of years, worked on a ranch. And then he moved to Little Compton because he had a lot of relatives in Little Compton. There he met my mother. And then he married her in where Jacqueline got married, Portsmouth, Rhode Island. He got married there, but at first he was in a partnership with his brother-in-law in Little Compton. And then, that's when in 1918, then he moved to Westport. He bought this farm. In 1928, I believe it was, he bought the field across the road. In 1944, he bought the other half of the big field. In 1923, the year I was born, he built the big house, the one you're in. When my brother got married, he built the next house. When after I got married, he built this house. He added on to the barn twice, once on each end. And I think it was back in 1933, he built the first time. I forget now when the second addition was put on. But my father also, with four other farmers, he started the Farmers Dairy in New Bedford. That ran for quite a few years, owned by 5 farmers. And we used to cart the milk up there with a pickup. So my father had a good reputation around here. And he was raised vegetables and took it to the market by a truckload. Potatoes in 100-pound bags. And the cabbage at first was loose, not in boxes, just a whole pickup load, throw them in there, bulk. And the turnips and sweet corn, I remember I used to pack sweet corn in boxes, fill the box up with sweet and then fix the top so it looked nice. That's things I remember.
What was the Great Depression like?
That was just a little before I knew much about. And in the Depression was time behind. In 1933, everybody around here tested their cows for tuberculosis, and we tested our herd. And out of maybe 45, 50 head that he had, I think only 4 or 5 didn't have TB. So he says, take them all. I'm not going to keep any of them behind. Take them all. And then he and 2 other guys, they went to Wisconsin and bought a bunch of cows, shipped them back here by rail, brought them home, started the milking business again, started milking cows again. And that I remember. And in 1938, the year of the hurricane, we had just put the milk machines in. Used to milk by hand up till then. And we put milk machine that summer. And in September the hurricane hit. No electric, we had to go back to milk cows by hand. Because I remember when I was here, my father and a neighbor went to Springfield Fair, and me and Manny were here alone. We were cutting as much corn as fast as we could so the hurricane wouldn't knock it all down. We did cut a lot of corn down, and it was down. We picked it up after that. But the hurricane did a lot of damage. That was 1938. When I was in high school, I was in the FFA class. Well, I was on the milk judging team. And on my birthday, my 16th birthday, I come in first place in milk judging at UMass up in Amherst. Never forget that. And I come out of school and stayed on the farm here, helped my father on everything he did. We stayed with my father, working the farm until he died. He died in 1965. And my brother and Manny and I owned it. But Freddie didn't want nothing to do with the farm. Then he went in the service. Now Manny and I stayed, and took over the farm when my father died. We were together 8 years, and then we decided to split up. So we divided everything in half. He took his half the land, and I took my half of the equipment and half the land, and I've been on it ever since. And in I think it was 1973, that he sold his half to another man, and he owned it for a while. Then he said he didn't believe in partnership, so we broke up the partnership, and he took the value of the APR rights for his share of the farm, and I ended up with the farm. So I've been here ever since. 1953, they had the Green Pastures program. 1953, 1956, and in 1958, we were the state winner in Massachusetts for Green Pastures. So my father did all that, then went to school a day in his life, couldn't read or write, couldn't write his name. So I know we did, he used to do all his business with checks, cash at first, then he went to checks. And there were times there when if he overdrew on a check account, the bank made good on it because they knew he'd be in within a few days with a milk check. So they never penalized him for it.
How has the work on the farm changed in the past almost 100 years?
Well, when I was a kid, I remember we did all the work with horses. We had one tractor, but that was for harrowing and for belt work to fill silo. But the horses did the plowing, planting, harvesting, cultivating, and all the field work. And then in 1941, we bought the first tractor, first farm all, had cultivators on it. Then we cultivated the corn. As time went on, we bought bigger tractors, and we went to a two-row chopper, four-row corn planter, and bigger equipment all the way. So that's how we progressed as far as equipment.
What about tractor pulling?
Tractor pulling? Well, pulling goes back, way back, when I was a kid. They had the old Westport Fair at the head of Westport. And then the fair closed down. And then it was quite a few years before the other Westport Fair started, which I was one of the original organizers with 10, 12 other guys. I pulled 4 or 5 years, and the first couple of years I won first place against some of the other guys with the Farm All H. And then as time went on, then your father and Stephen and Jeffrey went into pulling. I'd give it up. 50 years later, they had a 50-50 tractor pull, which meant the tractor had to be over 50 and the driver had to be over 50. So I got in that class and I won that class 50-50. And I think that's when I stopped pulling, and you guys boys took over after that. I make the hay, I make it, I mow it, and rake it, and bale it, and dry it. And then my grandchildren and my sons, they load it and get it in undercover, because I can't do that anymore. But I still keep busy. I still go every day, do as much as I can, and I get help from the family.
How did you meet your wife?
Dancing. I used to go out dancing. I met her at a dance hall. I met a lot of girls dancing, and she's the one I ended up with.
That's all you have to say?
No. There was a lot of girls
yeah.
available, but no, I picked, I got my eye on her, I picked on her, and that was it. Well, we've had some good times. We've done some traveling. We used to go dancing quite often. Went to a lot of parties, go to all the feasts, go to all the fairs. We enjoyed life as much as we could. Now she's up there, can't do a damn thing. That's the sad part. I think what she used to do, what she can't do now.
Where is she now?
Rehab. So she got one arm. When she was a kid, she fell down on ice and damaged the muscle on this arm. So she had to pick this arm up to do what she wants. Her legs are paralyzed. But she got one arm, she feeds herself. I think she was go dancing 3 nights a week. So that's life for you. So
Now
we can't change life. Life is, what level life is going to be is going to be. Like I always said, you work with nature. It's like raising a family. You plant crops, it grows, you have a nice crop, you're proud of it. You go out there, you stay up all night, watch a cow getting ready to have a calf. You help her have the calf. You keep the calf alive. A couple years later, that calf is grown into a cow producing milk. So there's a lot of pride, because on a farm, you always learn something. So that's why it's so interesting, that's why I like it. I'd like to see it stay the way it is. Well, it may change according to different business. Like when we used to be all dairy. Now we got up because the dairy didn't pay. Now I'm all making all hay. Now, a couple of years from now, who knows? Jeffrey's into vegetables, may end up going into vegetables. You might end up going into all beef. Maybe time will get better, you might go back into dairy, I don't know. Could possibly, like Paul Tavares did, go into nursery, shrubbery. There is all kinds of possibilities. You go where the money is. If there's no money in it, you don't go into it. So there's all kinds of opportunities. It depends what you want to do. but it's not going to be handed to you. You got to work for it.
Has farming been your entire life?
Yeah, yeah. I was born on this farm. Done it all my life. And like I say, I've enjoyed every bit of it. I can't give any advice except use your judgment. Do what you like to do. And keep trying. You got to keep trying. And I always say, help whoever you can. Because you never know when you need help. And you go from there. You know what this picture's about?
What?
You can't guess, huh?
You like chocolate?
No.
Is that the last chocolate you're ever going to eat in your life?
No, I hope not. This is a picture of Grampy behind bars. How's that?
I like that.
I thought you would.
What made you think of that?
I just thought of it the other day. I thought of this on my birthday.
Oh,
I wanted to take a picture of this on my birthday. Grampy behind bars on his birthday. But I told your father to tell you I wanted to see him and never did. But that's what this picture's about. Grampy behind bars. I thought that was pretty nice. Now whether anybody else thinks much of it or not, but I don't give a damn. But you know, I'm always thinking of something foolish.